China has unveiled an action plan to cut carbon emissions in 2024 and 2025, aiming for a 1% drop in key industries. The government says China's economy will need 2.5% less energy for every unit of growth in 2024. The government also wants renewable energy sources to make up 20% of China's total usage in 2025, up from this year's target of nearly 19% there. So there will be a push to generate more clean energy, so that by next year, nearly 40% of it should be renewable. That's up from nearly 34% in 2020. And China also wants to lift restrictions on the purchase of new energy vehicles, which will give a major boost to the EV industry. Lauri Myllyvirta is a senior fellow at the Asia Society Policy Institute and a lead analyst at the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air. Lauri, great to see you there. Welcome to our show. So China plans to reduce its carbon emissions by, in the key industries by about 1%. How significant is that?
I think this plan as a whole, as a signal, is significant. China fell behind its climate commitments during the zero-COVID period because of a lot of economic growth coming from energy-intensive industries. And now this extraordinary plan is a signal that the country will try to get back on track during the last 2 years of the 5-year plan period. The industrial targets are going to be reached through 2 different ways. So there are things like recycling metal, more recycling, which is very good. There's also a lot of replacement of older industrial capacity happening, and that's a bit of a double-edged sword because you have old energy-intensive industry replaced with new units, and that can be problematic for the overall emission reduction plan.
Just a reminder for our viewers, China's goal is to peak its carbon emissions by 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. So by reducing that by 1% this year, which industries do you think will face the most significant challenges in improving their efficiency?
China has a very long track record of improving energy efficiency in industry. A lot of people have an idea of outdated plans, but that's not true anymore. So in terms of heavy industry, I think China is very well placed to deliver these targets. The steel industry in particular has a very high potential for emission reductions because there's a lot more scrap steel becoming available that can be recycled instead of making primary steel. The sector that will probably face the biggest challenge is buildings. It's one with huge energy efficiency potential, but one where progress to date has been a bit underwhelming.
China's plan aims for a 2.5% reduction in energy usage per unit of GDP growth this year. What does it mean, and how realistic do you think that is?
So China's target for the whole 5-year period, meeting that would require an even larger reduction in energy intensity. China has also changed energy intensity to exclude clean energy, which is growing very fast right now. So this target should be easy to reach. The target of reducing carbon intensity by 3.9% is the more challenging one. And that would mean slowing down China's CO2 emission growth from 5% last year to 1% or less this year, so that's progress.
Thanks very much. That is Lauri Myllyvirta, Senior Fellow at the Asia Society Policy Institute. Thank you so much for your insight.
Thank you.